Here we are back again to show you some features about the Nikon D3X. Let's start right now. My menu settings and the way I configure my D3X. The first thing you want to do is when you use the dial here, you can go inside and navigate into the menus. To do so, you need to come to the control command here. So the 1, 2, 3rd custom settings menu. Go here, F controls, and then you go down to customize command dials, and you activate manual and playback on. If it's not activated, it doesn't work with dials, and you need to use this pad. Otherwise, when it is activated, it's much faster and easier to navigate into the menus. So, what do I have in my menu? Regarding the playback menu, I just switch off the image preview. It means that when I take a picture, I don't see the picture immediately, and I don't spend my time looking at my screen. The shooting menu is the most interesting one, is where I have my 4 classical presets. The only thing that changed between the 4 presets here, A, B, C, D, is the ISO sensitivity parameter. To access the ISO sensitivity, I put it on the first line of my menu. This is the first item of my menu here. The thing that changed in the 4 submenu A, B, C, D is just the minimum shutter speed. If I go to my shooting menu, the first one is manual, fully manual. It's where I change myself the minimum shutter speed and the ISO auto or not. So I know this one is not a preset. The 3 other ones are some saved preset of minimum shutter speed. One on 250, one on 500, and one on 1000. And then I can access to these settings with a function button here. The function button. The function button is the one that is below here. When I press the button, I use a spot metering at the moment I press it. So usually I am in matrix metering here when with this button here. It's always in matrix metering. And as soon as I press the button here on the bottom, I switch to spot metering. And when I press it and I turn the wheel, I change my shooting menu A, B, C, D. Next thing I like to do is here in the multi-selector center button. When I press it, it will position the point of autofocus in the center of the viewfinder. Next is multi-selector. When I move the multi-selector, it will wake up the camera and the meter of the camera. Usually it's just by half pressing the shutter here that you wake up the camera, but me, I ask also that when I touch the pad here, it wakes up the camera. Another one is the function button. As I said, it's spot metering and the shooting menu. The other one is the assign preview button. Nothing happens when I press the button, but when I press and turn the wheel, I will change the way the focus is made when I am in dynamic here. And this is the dynamic, okay? And this is something that is very pleasing with the D3, D3S, D3X, D700, is this button here. Because in continuous, you can select if you are here in single point autofocus, dynamic autofocus, or automatic. In dynamic, as you can see, you can have a selection of 9 points, 21, I guess. Let me check. Yes, it's 9, 21, 51, and 3D tracking, okay? So the way to access this, when I am in dynamic, is by pressing the top button here and turning the wheel. And if I want only one single point, I just go there. With the latest Nikon, you have a button on the side here, and you need to press this button and turn the wheel to say if you want to be in single or dynamic, and to say if you want to be in in continuous or single, and then also if you want to be in 9, 21, 51, 3D tracking, group, and so on. You need to turn the dials, but you need to press this button first. And when you have a long lens with your hand, that is your left hand that has to hold the lens, coming and touching this button can be quite hard and difficult for your rest of the right hand, because this hand will support all the camera and the lens. In my case, I just do it with one hand by selecting here if I am single, dynamic, or automatic, and by pressing this button and the wheel to select the dynamic area that I am using. So this is really powerful in these old cameras. Next control that I change is what I do with this button. To me, it's just locking the exposure. Sometimes you make panorama pictures, you take several pictures like this, and you want to lock the exposure. So I use this button to do so. Quite simple. One thing that is interesting also is the release button to use dials, and I put it to yes, on. It means that, for instance, when I press button here, I can change, so you can see I can change the ISO value, but I don't need to keep my finger on the button. I just press once and it's okay. When I press it again, I can leave, or to leave it, I just have to half press the shutter release here, and I left the function. Very interesting. So let's say exposure compensation, and you see I just press the button and then I turn the wheel. I don't have to keep my finger on the button. Hey, did you know that depending on your RAW quality, 12 bits or 14-bit RAW, the burst shutter speed will change. Let's see, when I am in 12-bit RAW, here it is. As soon as I am in 14-bit, 14-bit RAW here, you see the difference? Be aware about this. 14-bit, you have about 2 frames per second. Definitely this camera is not made for sport. Keep this in mind. That was made for studio, portrait, good lighting condition, and that's it. You need to keep low ISO, don't expect to have a faster burst, and you get the best image quality you can get from this age of cameras. But you need to get this restriction in mind every day. See you for next video, and don't forget, if you like it, put a thumbs up and subscribe. See you.